Hey besties and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be doing another K-pop opinions video. I honestly thought I wouldn't create any more of these, but I have some fresh opinions that I want to talk about and it has been a while. Also, please remember that these are just my opinions. Now, let's get started with the video. I don't mind when there's a performance and there's camera work to make the choreography look cooler or have a certain effect, but I don't like it when the choreography pretty much depends on good camera work for it even pull off. For example, if an artist is dancing on the floor, it should be where the audience can actually see it and not just the people watching it on TV or on YouTube. I just feel like this doesn't work well in the long term because when it's a concert, what are you gonna do then? Unfortunately, I've even seen this with some of aespa's recent choreography where it looks good with different camera angles, but just still, it looks really awkward. I personally feel like they need to make these choreographies with concerts and stable camera work in mind instead of regular music shows. While I understand why fan votes are put into survival shows since they want members that are well liked and ones that fans would actually support and watch, but it's completely taken over and messed up the entire survival show system. Don't get me wrong, survival shows have been messed up from the beginning with scripted elements and even some rigging, but I feel like we don't talk about the negative impact fan voting has had on it recently. This especially sparked something in me with the recent Boys Planet and how there were a lot of amazing trainees that were actually really talented and could have definitely made it into the lineup, but were just ignored by fans because either their visuals weren't enough or they didn't have an iconic moment that was shown. That's not to say that there's no talented members in the final lineup, but it's just so annoying how fans won't even take talent and skills as a priority. Honestly, I feel like there should be at least a 50-50 vote where one half of the votes are by the judges, actual professionals, and the other half is from fans so that way it's at least a little more fair. Like I said, I understand why fan voting is there, but a lot of y'all only consider looks when it comes to voting and not actual skills. What I mean by this is basically that any fan that's a whole ass adult should not be the majority of people attending a fan meeting for a group that's filled with a bunch of minors. And before I continue, I already know some of y'all are gonna start calling me ageist or saying that I just don't want adults to participate in fun things with K-pop, but that's not the point at all. While I'm not an older adult, I'm almost 23 and I think it's perfectly fine to buy photo cards, attend concerts, and have a bias, but even I would feel weird going to see a group that has only one adult. If they're being respectful and keeping it cute and simple, then I don't think it's a big problem, but when you all's nasty ass are trying to flirt with them and making marriage comments, it makes me feel like you need to be put on a special list. Especially with how some of y'all have been with Martin from Cordy's. Like yes I get it, he's tall and might look a tad bit older than his age, but he's still a teenager and he very much acts like one as well, so there's not excuse to acting inappropriate towards him. I don't care if he's flirting with you all, why the fuck would you do it back? I just feel like there being more adults who are reaching 40 as compared to people in their teens and early 20s being the majority there is very off-putting. I'm not saying you're not allowed to be a fan, but just please stop being weird towards them. It's gross. I haven't seen this happen too much, but I'm specifically talking about the recent Taemin situation, because what do you mean you've stopped supporting him because he got his nose done? I could understand not being a fan of an artist because you don't connect with music anymore or they did something fucked up, but just because you don't like how this new nose looks? While I'm not necessarily supportive of plastic surgery, I'm not gonna be mad if someone I admire gets it because it's not my face and they can do whatever they want. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he felt the need to get it, but instead of blaming him and acting like he committed a war crime, how about you all redirect your anger towards the ridiculous beauty standards and how they make people learn to hate any part of them that's not viewed as perfect. Okay, yay, his nose changed a bit, but his music didn't, so why are y'all being so dramatic? I just think it's really stupid how y'all say visuals don't matter then turn around and harass them for not looking the way you want them to. While I love majority of their discography and they've improved their B-sides so much since their rookie era, I can't help but to notice their lack of consistency when it comes to their albums. I think a good example of this is their Armageddon album. They have spunky and quirky songs like Supernova and Licorice, then more gritty and cyber-like songs such as Armageddon, Mine, and Set the Tone. Bahama and Long Chat and even Live My Life kinda halts the flow of the album because why is Bahama on an album like this and not a B-side for Better Things? I don't think every song on an album needs to have the exact same energy or sound. I like when it's versatile, but take Red Velvet for example. In their album, The Perfect Velvet, it's very cohesive with having that romantic yet eerie tone but still has songs that match and don't feel too out of place with the concept. I think that's where aespa should take notes to better their discography overall. Obviously I know they're gonna keep growing and evolving as artists, but I would just like to see more consistency. I guess this is semi-K-pop related, but seeing how their recent comebacks have been, it's like they have no identity. I will admit that while I kinda hated Gnarly, it became catchy after a while and I think that's mainly due to the choreography. That's what sucks even more is that they're beautiful girls with amazing stage presence and really great vocals, but the vocals are the only thing that's not being put to use. I heard a clip of them harmonizing and I was baffled, because why haven't they done any of that in their songs? Yeah, most of their songs have catchy elements, but that's only gonna take them so far. The music actually needs to have substance and something with more quality. I honestly thought they were gonna be like the Pussycat Dolls daughters because they have that attitude and the vocals for it, but like I said, their company is just not putting that to use or even recognizing that. I wish I could get into them more, but the only thing that's stopping me is the music, because it just feels so flat. I know this might sound confusing, but just listen. I feel like just because an idol can generally sing and dance, that doesn't mean that they need a solo. For example, idols like Nan, Seulgi, Jungkook, and others are able to be successful soloists not only because of their talents, but because of their natural star quality, which is something not everyone has, and that's okay. Saying an idol shouldn't be a soloist doesn't mean they're untalented or bad, they're just not capable to hold their own. If it's just a solo project or song, then that's perfectly fine, but there's just some that don't need to be full-blown soloists. While I am and always will be a concept enthusiast, I mean it's one of the biggest things I love about K-pop, I do think that there should be a balance between the concept and the music. For example, I've seen releases where the concept is absolutely amazing, but the song doesn't match that energy and the only good thing about it is the concept. Like even though I absolutely love Peekaboo Era, the best thing about it is the album and concept, but the title track itself is pretty weak if we take away all the visual elements. I understand that visuals are a huge part of K-pop, but I feel like the music should be just as important, even more because when I'm just listening to a song, I'm only hearing the music, not the other parts. I could honestly talk about this all day, but with EXO's situation specifically, oh it got me heated. SM is actually so fucking petty, because what do you mean that because the CBX members sued you and rightfully won, you wanna try as hard as possible to make sure they won't be in EXO's comeback? Excuse me? Now, every single member in EXO is extremely talented and we have amazing vocalists such as Dio and Suha, but let's not lie, we all know good and well that CBX fills the heart of the group, especially when it comes to vocals. This is honestly so stupid and ridiculous on SM's part, because everyone is already pissed that the three members are most likely not gonna be in this comeback, so strategically it's just a dumbass move. They did the same thing with TVXQ and Red Velvet where they just keep sabotaging the groups, which causes the company to self-sabotage themselves all because their ego is out of control. Like get it together please, y'all just look stupid now. And that's the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed, please like and subscribe if you'd want and have a good day, bye besties.